Yo, 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 what's going on? This hand is a little dark right here, but we're gonna make it work. So, let me show y'all something. So, I went to the store today. I work a lot of overtime. So, I finally got to bless myself with a new pair of the new Pumas that came out. Mm, Fire, right? Straight fire. Usually, like, if I buy me a pair of shoes, I buy my girl a pair of shoes, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see what goes on. So, then I went and got the white on white Puma joints. Let me show y'all them look like. So that's what it is. So right now I'm out there getting it like that. So everybody, so a lot of y'all keep asking me like, how do I come up with these topics that I come up with? So let me tell you what I do. I have a couple of friends and we'll just like go over topics and stuff because they're trying to build their YouTube channel and their platforms up, and we'll just come up with one. And so I came up with one, and today is when did I feel like I was loved the most, I guess. And I'm gonna be upfront and honest. This was actually easy. This one was actually easy for me. So it was some years back. The first time I actually felt that somebody loved me and cared for me unconditionally was I had broke my nose in college, and I get rushed to Bamsey Hospital, and I'm laying there by myself. I'm like, oh man, this is horrible. You know what I'm saying? It's the first broken bone I ever had. I made it all the way to my 30s, and then I break a bone during basketball practice. Shout out to Palo Alto Palominos. I break my nose. Um, I get rushed to the hospital, and I'm laying there. And when you're laying there by yourself, it's really, really like a moment where you're like not too sure. They tell you don't take a deep breath because when I broke my nose, the bone spun the other way. So they're like, don't take a deep breath because they were like, it'll shoot up. So now you're nervous. You're like, what the? It'll shoot up, right? So I'm laying in this bed by myself, right? And I'm just laying there, and I'm just like, all kind of things are going through my head. Like I like take a deep breath. It's over, right? But the funny part is, I ended up calling. I was in a relationship, and I ended up calling my girl. She was at a party with her and her friends, and she stopped what she was doing. Stop. She had been partying. She had been getting lit, but her brain told her, I got to get to him, right? Trying to call my mom and everybody. Nobody calls, right? So I tell them like I'm tired. They're like, nah, you can't go to sleep. You gotta stay awake. I'm like, yo, but I'm really tired. Like I guess I had like a concussion and didn't know it. So I'm like, yo, I'm really tired. I just want to go to sleep. So I'm trying to doze off for like a split second. They kept coming in. When they come in, if you don't know, they'll flash this light to like irritate you. So I'm like, yo, don't flash this motherfucking light no more. You know what I'm saying? So about an hour or so, girl walks in, and her and her friend are loud. So the nurse is like, yo, you gotta chill, da da da, right? So I'm like, yo, be quiet, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, what happened? And I'm explaining it to her, and I'm just like, yo, the sorriest part about all this is that I laid here by myself. And that was the first time I was actually nervous that I might not come out of a situation. She rubbed me on my head and climbed in the hospital bed and says, it's gonna be okay, right? So they released me. They're like, you can go home, and then we'll schedule surgery for tomorrow. No, what happened was I was supposed to stay the night at the hospital, and they released me on an accident, and I went home. And then they called and were like, they were calling my phone. I turned it off. I was going to sleep, and then they're like, she answered. They called her because she had emergency contact number. They called her, and they're like, yo, he got to come back like right now because we're in the surgery in the morning. And I was like, shook, right? I'm like, yo, I'm not doing this, you know. But it was the first time I felt like somebody cared for me and I didn't have to just worry about myself. And then the second time was I had a hernia real bad. It was hurting, like I had got it from work, and I didn't want to do a surgery, but I knew I had to have it done because it started leaking. They had told me it was leaking, and I was like, oh, it'll stop then. So I go in there and I lay there. They prep me for surgery, and I look up at her, and I remember her saying, "I'll be here when you come out." That's all I need to hear. I go in, I come out, they're waking me up, and I look over and she's there, and I can't even lie, tears came out of my eyes. I don't know if it was just like I didn't go through this by myself, if it was that kind of relaxed joy of someone that loves you so much that they want to make sure you're okay. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, like those are the only two moments in my life that I felt like somebody actually loved me more than I love myself. You know what I'm saying? And it was just weird, like because I've been on this earth a lot of years, you know what I'm saying? And never felt that compassion that somebody gave me for free. They didn't want nothing but to make sure I was okay, right? And I say that to say you only get like a few of those moments in your life. And if you're happy to grab like two of those moments with the same person, cherish that moment. And I would like I always told her, I said, there's nothing I won't do for you, whether we were together or not, there's nothing I won't do for you, you know what I'm saying? Because in the time that I needed you the most, you held me down. And it was just vice versa. When she had to go have surgery, like her mom was just like, yo, you go get some of your nah, I ain't gonna leave her side. You know what I'm saying? When she come out and be right here. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a person that holds you down like that, you gotta hold them down like that. You have to make sure that people understand like good, bad, or the other. Like there's always you're lucky if you get to love somebody once in your lifetime. But if you're able to love somebody twice in your lifetime, then you're blessed. And I believe like even the first time I thought I was in love, I wasn't in love because I didn't know what it was. And that person destroyed me for every other woman that ever came along until I met this woman. And then this woman showed me like I got your back. Don't worry. So like people gotta understand like you're lucky in your life. So I can honestly say like I probably only like really, really truly had somebody care for me once in my life. Other than my mother who gave me life. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like that's why a motherfucker call me right now and be like, yo, can you do this? No matter what I go through with her, can you do this for me? Yep. Because I know you have my back. Yo, can you help me with this? Yep. No questions asked. That's why like when I see what people have done over the years to try to destroy what little bit of happiness I do have in life, I pray to God now more than ever, like, yo, I'm not finna let people keep doing this to me. So now in our lifetime, we have to look at it and say, damn, all the shit I took people through, and a person still stood by me, I gotta stand by them when they ever need anything from me. They need something from me, I'm gonna look after them. Because a lot of people will tell you they care for you, they love you, and then when hard times come, they'll dip. You'll see them, they'll just dip. They'll be like, yo, I can't do this. I don't want to. I tried. When I tried, you weren't. When you weren't, I wasn't. And you're like, all right, go. That don't mean you don't still care for the person. It's just time for you to go. Nobody really understands. Like me, like people think by now that I'd have been out running amok. Man, I'm chilling. I go to work, go home. I don't want to hang out. I'm not looking for no girlfriends and shit like that. Man, I'm at home chilling. That's it. That's it. Because I'm reading a book called what's this over there? I think it's some on the lines of a real man, real father. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's always going to be, if I can love you and you can trust me, then I wouldn't do nothing to disrespect you. You know what I'm saying? Even if you see me doing something, I'm never going to do something to disrespect the person that I love, period. Because I've learned lessons along the way why I shouldn't. But there's people out there that will make an issue for you. So me now, I'm just waiting. I'm biding my time, and whatever it comes from, it comes from it. If nothing comes from it, like, you live, you learn, you move forward. You know what I'm saying? But you also got to understand, like, we're not perfect. We're human. You know what I'm saying? So now the phase of my next journey in life is, if whatever comes to be will come to be, then I have a wife, I'll have my new home, and I have happiness. That's it. My kids are gonna always be my kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I love them to death, and I got grandkids running around, and gotta start spending time with them. But I want to do it as a unit, as a family setting. So that's what a lot of you men and women gotta understand. Do what you gotta do as a family setting. No matter who don't like it, if they don't like it, you move them out the way. But you don't let anything stand in the way of y'all's happiness together. And if a person loves you unconditionally, like they say, they pick up the phone, they call you, they say, we need to meet, we need to talk, we need to figure it out. And then you tell them this: Carter's life.